Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Power Snippet and iSelf Academy YouTube channel. In today's class, we are going to go for visualization video number 4. In this video, I'm going to teach you how to use a filled map with matrix and cards with a slicer. I'm using a lot of option here because in the maps we don't have a data label feature available. If the data label feature is available, then that makes our life a little more easier. To make our life a little more easier and readable for each and every situations and scenarios better, I'm using a matrix table here and a card to display my numbers with a slicer to filter it out. Without further ado, let's begin our visualization video number 4. So I've already brought the data into the list here. I've just brought two different data which connects in a system. If you want to know more about relationship, you can watch my previous videos here, or I'll be adding a new relationship videos how to create them. As these two data are coming from the same Excel sheet, so you can see the model data will have a relationship here. I'll talk about it in much more detailed part. In this point, I'll just give you a small tip here. In this point, when you go down to the list of orders, in the property, you can add a pin related to the top line, so that now the orders of the data comes from a sequential or maybe an alphabetical order here. I can swap this to a relationship order by just adding this pin related fields on top of the card. When I click this, automatically wherever the uh, card which I love to connect this data can be seen automatically on top. If I don't want, I can just take this out of the equation, and I can even take this the no button on the list here. So I'll give you these properties even more better as we go forward in the list here. Let's jump to the visualization, add our visualization. So when I go back to my page number 2, and when I started adding my list here, so I'm going to, when I give a click mark in the country, automatically the system reads the data and takes the map field for us automatically. And I can add either the next table data in here, because as the data are connected to one another, I can just minimize this and then I can add my profit or sales here. So you can see automatically my data are added here, and this is talking more on the European sales in the list here. Here I can see the list or maybe a bubble displays that we have here, and if I want to make the data look even more better, I can bring the profit to the legend field here, so that gives you the colors here, but I will not see the variance exactly, because in here it is not just a country sales go by city sales. So you have a state under the country and the city under the list here. So legends, adding a profit or the sale value in the legends will not really make our life a little more easy. It's too tougher for us to read the data completely. To read the data better, so I'm going to remove the profit from the legend field, and I'll be adding a card from our list. So I'm going to click the card here, and then the card is available here, and I'm going to add the profit to the list here. When I add the profit to the cards here, automatically the profit shows on a whole for each and every data. So let me make the card a little smaller, because I'm going to use a filter option. I'm going to use a lot more option here. If you want to just make the formatting better on this point, you can always do that. So you can raise the font size here for the labels here, and you can make them bold, you can make them underline, and you can do whatever you want to do with it, and you can even make the colors of it in different dimension articles. So whatever color that you want to feed in here, you can add them all here. If I want to match my uh, visualization color, I can match them here. So I'm trying to match one of the colors that is there available in the list. And now I can add a multiple matrix here, or I can add a matrix table here. So the matrix table allows me to add the data better. When I want to add a matrix table here, so as I told you earlier, my data are coming from multiple dimensions, so I don't know how many countries are going to come into play. Let's bring my country into the list here. Automatically you can see the rows are giving me the country. When I add the hierarchy here, the country hierarchy comes as country, state, and city. If you have streets in another component, you can go by that way. I'm going to add the state next. When I do that, it automatically takes you to the column, but I don't want them in a column. I'm going to make them in a row. Then I can add a city here, so that gives you the breakup here. Again, I'm going to move the cities to the list here. So now when I click this, you can get a drop down here, or you can use a expand level here. So when I click the next level, it goes to the state level breakup. When I go to the next level, I can go to the city level breakup here. And the same can happen in a multiple level listing here, which allows you to get this country and the state, and the city. Again, it's a long list to control it, so that's why I'm going to make one more dimension here. So I'm going to just keep this dimension as it is. So I want to just show only the country in our list here. So the matrix table will give you the countries completely here, so that I can control that better here. Then I'm going to add a slicer to our list here. Slicer gives us the advantage of what country that I'm going to choose here. If I want to make the country even more bigger, if I want to do that, I can do it. Now I'm going to add again the country first, and the state next, and the city finally. So put the state in between. So now I got the list here. So when I click the country here, automatically my map shows the country here. But again, if this map is a filled map, this will look even more better. So now I'm having a map on the globe front, or the normal maps here. Instead of maps, when I make them a filled map, that gives you exactly the cities list here. And you can see the list of states that comes into play. I can either pick up this slider here, or I can click this here. So that takes you the Austin city alone. So you can see that anything and everything that goes on. If I want to connect these two components, I can do that. So now I'm going to click it outside, and then get all the list here. I can even make the color of each and every country differently by just adding the country to my legends here. Let me bring back the map into selection, drag the country into the legends here, and now the countries are colored accordingly. So when I give a tick mark in the Norway, you can see the Norway part. Again, I want to see the combination differently, so I'm trying to do several combinations here. So instead of taking this as multiple maps, so I can convert this into a filter, and then I can convert this into a multi-factor table. So this allows me to do things better. So when I give a UK tick mark here, and I can give one hierarchical breakup here, so that I can see the cities. When I drop down furthermore, again I'll be getting a lot of information inside the city level. So I don't want the city level component to come into play, so I'm going to just make them one level here, so that I can see the data really better here. So when I click the Switzerland here, you can see that only one level coming up here. So just check out how many cities are in display, so that based on that you can set the multiple tables wherever you feel it is relevant in your data, so that you can see what's happening in each and every city better, or at least the state level you can see that. So when I pick up these data, you can see each and every uh, maps that moves on the left hand side, and you can see the profit that is going to change for each and every country that I choose here. And again, when I go back to the country here, the data are a little weird here, so let me just bring the profit to the bottom and then take this guy to the top again. And then I can make a little bigger here and there. We can work around on that component, and we can do the rest of the data perfectly. So just drag this to this point so that it looks a little better. And then now I'm going to give a tick mark in all the cities, and wherever the cities are very big, you can see that the state level data is coming up for me. I'm not seeing the city level yet. If you want to add a city level also, you can do it, but again I can just uncheck the country out of the equation. So now we can see the country goes out in my filter. Instead I can uncheck the country here. That gives you the state level list here, and I can just only get the state here, so that would be better. So let me see whether I can add all of them, or I can clear the data. Am I getting all my states here? But again, state list will be a huge list when it comes to all the countries here. When I pick up one country here, you can see the state levels alone. So if I want to make the data even more better, I can make multiple line items here. So let me just, the width of the data is not going very big, so I can reduce it furthermore, and I can add another table or a multi-table. A table will do, I believe, because I'm only showing one data here. So probably the table data will be looking better here instead of showing a multiple. Similarly, let me take a table again and Sorry, I just moved the scorecards here. The table looks a little longer than normal. Then now I add a state here. So that's good. So when I click this, you can see this. Again, the cities are not all cities are showing here because sometimes the city list will be a little longer than normal. You may not be able to show all of them. Again, if you play around with the table, you can make the table look a little more better by making the data into a horizontal component or vertical component. You can do the listing levels accordingly, and I'll teach you this table level even more better. So now I'm just adding the cities and states and the maps here. You can see the profits and the losses, and I can pick up particular city here, or I can pick up a particular state here. In Spain, in the state, this is the city. So you can pick up whatever you want here. Accordingly, the data works for you. But you have a long list to work on it, so you have to see how it's going to work and how you're going to use it to the best possible output. So make sure that you are giving the right data breakup here, so that the data will not look really very weird here, and you can still get what you want. Because in the maps, you only get tooltips here. You won't get a data label when I go for an adjust field when I click a map here. The map, in the adjust field, I load key. I can only add the colors here or the legends here. And I can tell legends to come where it has to come. So it can be the left take one, or wherever you want to make the data, so you can make them up here. Bottom, wherever you want to feel the country name should come into play, you can add them here. And the map setting, you can show how you want to show the map. You want to show an aerial map, you can see that. Or you can show that here, and you can see the dark map here. That's the dark map. And when I take the light map here, it will be a lighter one, grayscaled map. And you can see the road here. That's what I showed you lastly. If I clear this box here, you can see the whole list of data. And when I click my maps, map setting, I can set the map accordingly. The aerial map will look like this, and you can set the map. So whichever feel is good for you, whatever you feel that the map should look like, you can make the map look better. And again, the dark and the gray, the other one is nice. The aerial one, which is more specific. Again, it's a lot of color are coming up, and other countries are also coming up here. So instead of aerial map, I might use a light map here so that I can just see what I want to see here. I don't want to see everything that is given to me in the list here. So I can either pick up a grayscale or a light or a road map, which allows you to handle the data better. So when I pick up the country here, then I can just choose what I want. I can see the state and the city, everything that I got this in slicer. These two data that are coming in a normal table. Then I got the scorecard here, and I got my maps too. This is how we play around with maps. This is visual number 4 here, and we dealt with map, filled map with matrix, card, and slice. And we have one more map available in Excel. So I'll be adding my next map on the shape map on the video number 5 for us. This is Vinod signing out from Power BI Snippet and iSelf Academy YouTube channel. Hope you have learned it. You can make use of it better. If you have a latitude, longitude, it will become a different story altogether. I do have that field here, but I didn't use it. And we can add one more dimension here called hierarchical component here. So we can create our own customized hierarchy also if I wanted to. I didn't do that because I just want to concentrate on only the fields and how the data are moving here. So as we go forward, we will be learning a lot more in this videos. This is Vinod signing out from Power BI Snippet and iSelf Academy YouTube studio. See you soon. Have a great day. Stay updated. Happy analyzing.